98.1. Bringing you the best in today's hip-hop, loud rock, and college alternative. This is QAQ.
This is not.
This is QAQ.
Hey, we came to turn it out. And we fired up, we fired it out. Hey, we'll make it scream shout. And we will, we fired it out.
This is not.
The meaning of being lonely.
This is QAQ.
I tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Only on the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. 98.1 WQAQ, Hamden.
Sure, you don't like it, but I sure do. 98.1 WQAQ with The Clash and Rock the Casbah. It's Brian here till 7 a.m. working on about 5 hours of sleep I got last night. Didn't get any tonight, so here's hoping things will go great. I'm going to play a sound of the season for you up next from Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Great memory along with this song for me. I used to play trombone and jazz band at my high school, and we had this Christmas concert every year. And last year, senior year, I was up on the stage, and the school's dance team came out. 30 of the school's hottest girls, tight pants, bright vests, and they're up there dancing to this song, and it's amazing. I can't even describe it. So let's go. 98.1 WQAQ, the station that...
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that too. Sound of the season from Mariah Carey on 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. Studio lines are now open, 281-0011. Don't forget to dial 9 first if you're on campus. And, of course, there's always Instant Messenger. WQAQ DJ's the name there, and if you can't spell it, it's still WQAQ DJ. In case you don't like the sound of my voice, let me just give you that phone number once again.
Studio lines are open now. 281-0011. Dial 9 if you're on campus. Give a shout out to your favorite DJ. We're playing non-stop requests. That number once again is 281-0011. This is Hamden's #1 source for variety. 98.1 WQAQ.
98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac with Elton John, Salute to America from the summer of 1976. That's Philadelphia Freedom. Coming up next, we got America with Sister Golden here in 98.1 WQAQ. This is not Sister Golden here. I'll tell you what it is later, I guess. 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac with Eddie Money and 2 Tickets to Paradise. That's what happens when you put the wrong CD in the wrong place, people.
Ending a rape can also help you regain your sense of personal power and control. It's a way to take action and do something about what happened to you. Remember, your voice is something no one can ever take away from you.
There's a message from 98.1 WQAQ.
And that's what happens if you don't fast forward a cart when you're done playing it.
More variety. All the time. All the time. It's the soundtrack. 98.1.
Guess Who with American Woman on 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac, immediately followed by Badfinger with No Matter What.
Always commercial free, 98.1 WQAQ.
98.1 WQAQ, getting more than a feeling from Boston. I'm going to begin a triple play from, yes, I said a triple play from the Eagles, kicking it off with Please Come Home for Christmas, one of their Christmas songs, obviously. I'll be playing about a Christmas song every half hour, in case you're wondering. Next week I might go all Christmas, I don't know. But you can always ream me out if I do. So here you go, 98.1 WQAQ.
WQAQ has gone digital. Online all the time.
All the time.
So give our DJs an IM, WQAQ DJ,
WQAQ DJ.
and request a song. Now G4 Power, it's the unstoppable WQAQ.
98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. That's the second song from the Eagles one of these nights. First up was Please Come Home for Christmas, Darling, or something along those lines. Coming up next, we got Hotel California from the Eagles, once again, part of a triple play, right here on 98.1 WQAQ, soundtrack of Quinnipiac.
Kicking it to you from the Carl Hansen Student Center.
We're flipping all your requests.
Give us a call on the hotline at 281-0011.
That's 281-0011.
Remember to dial 9 if you're on campus. That number once again is 281-0011.
The Eagles, part of a triple play on 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. That's Hotel California. I was going to say Sweet Home Alabama, but that's Leonard Skinner. And that's coming up a little later tonight, by the way. Coming up next, we got the Beach Boys with California Girls. Trying to keep warm around here. 98.1 WQAQ. WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac with the Beach Boys and California Girls. Gotta love them, I tell you. Coming up next, we got the Grassroots with Temptation Eyes on 98.1 WQAQ. Hey, 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac with the Grassroots from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, and Temptation Eyes. They had a couple other hits, might play for you sometime. I only got 1 week left, believe it or not. There's 1 week before finals, and during finals, we're having a limited on-air schedule, so should make things quite interesting, to say the least. Coming up next, we got Mouth and McNeil from 1972, and How Do You Do? So how do you do? 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac with Mouth and McNeil from 1972, one-hit wonder. Coming up next, we got Leonard Skinner, as I promised, with Sweet Home Alabama.
1, 2, 3.
WQAQ, Hamden,
Cheshire,
Wallingford, Quinnipiac. Playing the variety you're not going to get anywhere else.
hip-hop, loud rock, and college alternative.
98.1 WQAQ.
Sound of the season from Stevie Wonder on 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. It's Brian here, an hour or two of my 4-hour shift, going until 7 a.m. working on... This is going to be a 22-and-a-half-hour day for me. I got 5 hours of sleep last night. Had a great week away. Didn't have to get up at 2:30 in the morning last week, so I was very happy about that. Got to see some of my friends. That was great, too. Great to get away overall. Coming up next, we got... I'm not even sure who we got coming up. I don't even have written down who we got coming up. I guess we'll find out together, won't we?
Our call letters are WQAQ. Our frequency is 98.1. Broadcasting from Hamden to Cheshire and to the outskirts of Wallingford. This is your Quinnipiac Connection. 98.1 WQAQ.
WQAQ with another sound of the season, this time from Jimmy Beaumont and the Skyliners, a group I normally play during the 50s at 5, but this morning I made a mistake and played them an hour early. You'll probably hear from them again next hour during the 50s at 5, when I'll be doing a bunch of great doo-wop Christmas songs and newer song from 98 Degrees. It's also a cappella, another good Christmas song. But anyway, coming up right now is Edison Lighthouse with Love Grows from Where My Rosemary Goes. Let me try that again. Edison Lighthouse with Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes. That's a tongue twister. It's off the soundtrack from Shallow Hal, which is a really bad movie, I gotta tell you. If you haven't seen it, don't waste your $8 on it. It's a crappy movie. 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. Sorry about that. You didn't hear half that song, and you probably didn't hear like 2 or 3 songs before that because I forgot to pull this stupid CD player out of queue. But, hey, what can you do? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm half asleep. So, moving on. Coming up next, we got George Harrison from 1987 with I Got My Mind Stuck on You.
Ear-splitting, speaker-blowing, brain-melting, 10 watts of power, 98.1 WQAQ.
Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's
Can't you guys get it through your heads that she's a lady? There's also some bad news, though. She's also a evil woman.
Our call letter to WQAQ. Our frequency is 98.1. Broadcasting from Hamden to Cheshire and to the outskirts of Wallingford. This is your Quinnipiac Connection. 98.1 WQAQ.
98.1 WQAQ, asking you the question, have you had your Beatles today? Well, if not, here's a double play.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad.
98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac with the Beatles, and Hey Jude, one of their biggest hits and one of their longest ones too, which is always good for DJs like me who are doing a late night shift. Before we move into the second song of the Beatles back-to-back double play, I just wanted to give you, give you an update on some of the headlines and what's going on in the world of news. Just checked the AP Newswire, and it looks like about a half hour ago, peace talks began in Bonn, Germany for Afghanistan. Let's hope those go well. And Marines have attacked a column of Taliban troops in Afghanistan, have engaged a column of troops. We'll keep you updated on that as we get more information. And it looks like Palestinians are pulling out of the last of 6 West Bank towns that they took over about a month ago after the assassination of one of their leaders. Well, that's what's going on in the world of news. Let's move on to the Beatles with Day Tripper on 98.1 WQAQ.
It all started with a dream. A dream consisting of 100 feet of metal, producing 10 watts of power. And now it's finally here. It's all new, baby. Coming at you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're on all the time. Flipping non-stop beats to Hamden. Only on the soundtrack of Quinnipiac. The new and improved. 98.1 WQAQ.
It's Christmas.
98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac, with a holiday hit from U2, Baby Please Come Home. It's a remake of a song by a girl named Darlene Love, who originally recorded the song back in the 1960s. Darlene Love is actually the woman who played Danny Glover's wife in all those Lethal Weapon movies. She was a very famous singer back in the 60s, and she recorded a couple hits for a guy named Phil Spector, who produced the Beatles' Let It Be album. That's the name of it. Coming up next, we got Linda Ronstadt with When Will I Be Loved, right here on 98.1 WQAQ, the soundtrack of Quinnipiac.
I've been cheated.
At home, at work, in your car. This is your Quinnipiac Connection. 98.1 WQAQ.